Lonnie, your topic of the week.
Yeah, piggybacking on what RJ was saying, one of the points that RJ was saying there about these banks, I personally think that Chase and Amex are just whipping them out on the table and saying which one is bigger based on what's happening and what was recently announced as of today, as the day as we record this. So what I mean is Amex came out saying that they're going to refresh the Amex Platinum card, which one should not be a shocker because this happens like every 4 to 5 years, and we're coming up on that 4 to 5 year mark. So not a big deal. But like I said, I personally think they're just pulling out rumors versus doing it for the business changes. So this is where RJ and I are going to disagree. I don't think they're doing it for the business changes, but with so much more money being added to annual fees, the cards competing in specific categories, perks, benefits, etc. I honestly think they are just trying to win you as a consumer, where you're gonna have to pick between Chase and Amex. And the reason why is not necessarily the credits or anything like that. It's just you can't afford to be in both. I don't care what your financial situation, it just does not make financial sense to be in both. Now, RJ, I'm going to throw it back to you. Do you agree that this is what potentially happening versus they're making good business changes?
I think that probably the last 2 to 3 years, 95% of people have slowly migrated to one side or the other of this. There are people like I had the Ventrax for a while. I know you have both. Other people have both. A lot of the people who have both have pretty good business spend, either their own business or they travel for work. Most people who are, quote, normal, and even people who are in credit cards but not doing a bunch of business spend, have picked one or the other, or at least they have a strong bias one or the other. So I think that has slowly been happening. I think the annual fee raises that we're going to see this year is just going to make it more explicit. You're going to want to pick one or the other just so you're not paying 3 grand just in a couple of annual fees. Yeah. I have 3 cards that are like 95% of my annual fees. All of them are with Amex, the reserves and the platinum. But I've picked my lot, right? Like the only Chase card that I have that I use with any regularity is the IHG card. But co-brands aren't really the same thing, right? Because they're not earning Chase points, they're not earning Amex points. They're for that thing. But I think that it's becoming more explicit. I also think it's in some ways it's better for the card holder to have to pick a side, right? There are benefits to going all in with Chase, going all in with Amex or Wells Fargo or whoever, right? There are benefits to that. I talk a lot about point consolidation, right? If you're spending X amount of money and you can get all of your points to work naturally together because they're all in the same ecosystem, or because you're doing cashback, which doesn't really care about ecosystem, that is better typically for you. Now, there are people outside of that that do things differently, and that's okay. But for most people, I still think point consolidation matters. So picking a sandbox makes it easier. Yes, there are people who are going to lose out on a little bit, but I bet if they did the math of what they're losing out on, it's not as much as they think it is. Like, it's just not. I think we in the game focus on how can I get this the most optimized, and we realize that we're fighting for like 25 bucks a year. And we don't realize it until we put it in that sense of, oh no, we're the gains we're fighting for. We're spending so much time to fight for that like 25 bucks that we have now spent $500 on different software to optimize for that like 25 bucks. So I think that picking a ecosystem will help. Look, I know people who have Mac computers and still have an Android. That is not an uncommon thing. There are going to be people like Lonnie who are going to play in both sandboxes. I do know a couple of people who have iPhones and Windows computers. I don't understand these people. They're out there. So it becomes this thing of you can cross ecosystems, and if it works for you, it'll work. But that is just going to be rare because of how this works. It also depends on what they do with the CSP. If the CSP goes to 250, this is going to change some things for the green, which is going to then make it more expensive to have multiple of these cards or to do different things. So I do think we're going towards your sort of, for at least Chase and Amex, you're picking an ecosystem and then you might have a secondary one. But I do think we're getting out of the realm of you having two primary travel cards, unless you have a specific reason and it's not just Pokemon, I gotta have them all.
I think I feel a little bit attacked there because I have 4 cards with annual fees over $500.
I
And
have
also, if
three.
the CSP goes to 250, Built better pull an Amex and come out and be like, "Hey, here's what we're about to do."
Yeah,
That's just a missed opportunity.
yeah, it'll
Uh,
be very interesting.
Yeah, the next couple of months is going to be very interesting. There's going to be a lot of redundant content and there's going to be a lot of fun content in the credit card space on this particular battle. Matt, what do you think? Do you think this is actual business decisions or someone pulling out a ruler? Oh, I'm not going to let you have the highest annual fee. I'm going to have the highest annual fee. I don't care about my consumers. Matter of fact, I'm going to pull Queen's move and try to put you in a checkmate and just take all your consumers and so lock you into my ecosystem. Where are you at on
Um,
this?
Today was absolutely measuring. Today was absolutely measuring. Like American Express just put their cured sausage on the table and said, "Look at this," and then walked away. Overall, it is ecosystem lock-in. American Express likes to model itself not strongly, but does like to model itself to a certain extent like Apple does. American Express wants you in their ecosystem. American Express wants you to have the platinum card, wants you to have the gold card, wants you to earn membership reward points in any way that they're willing to let you, any way that you want to get membership reward points. You have a business, here's the Blue Business Plus. You had no annual fee card at one point. You can keep that no annual fee card. We don't care. It's fine. Do your thing. You want the gold card? Cool. You want the green card? Cool. You don't want the green card anymore. You want the traditional green card, but you still want it to earn membership reward points. Give us another $40. You're good. As long as you are in our ecosystem, don't really care what you do. Now, they could cater to this a little bit more by, I don't know, having some extra options for membership reward earning cards that are less than $150. They have 9 trademarks floating out there. There's going to be a replacement to the Everyday and Everyday Preferred at some point this year. I don't know when, but it's coming. They could always at any point just flip the switch and say, "Hey, you know those membership reward dollars that we give you on the everyday on the Blue Cash Preferred and Blue Cash Everyday? You can cash those in for membership reward points." At any point, they could do that and lock even more people in. American Express wants when you come into the American Express ecosystem, they want you to stay. They are giving you the blue bubble of, here's your membership reward point earning card. You want to be with all the other blue bubbles. We want you with all the other blue bubbles. And we want you paying as many annual fees as possible to stay with the blue bubbles. But more importantly, we want you with the blue bubbles. That's why the upgrade downgrade game is now being exploited. That's why retention offers were being exploited. That's why they do the things that they do and will offer no lifetime language offers to those who are really good customers who meet those no lifetime language. And this is more on the business side, but I am certain that there are like unicorns out there who get offers for no lifetime language gold cards, who have 4 or 5 gold cards, who have gotten welcome offers on those 4 or 5 gold cards. Why? Because they're that valuable a customer to American Express. Can't say it's too many people, but I'm not going to say that it's 0 people. American Express is about lock-in. Chase sees how much money American Express earns every single quarter. Every quarter, American Express spikes the ball. Says we are doing gangbusters with these demographics. We are making money hand over fist. It doesn't matter what we do to the annual fee. It doesn't matter what coupon we put out. It doesn't matter how we significantly change the card and folks' relationship with the card. Folks are going to complain, but you know what they're still going to do? They're going to pay the annual fee. If they're not going to pay the annual fee, we're going to find a way to keep them in our ecosystem. Whether they think they're gaming us or not, we are still getting paid. Chase sees that. Chase wants that level of lock-in. They don't have the same card setup. They don't have the same like loose structure to do that. But Chase was fine with you getting an ink every quarter. They didn't care. You were coming into their system. You were spending money on their cards. They want you to spend money on their cards. Chase, as long as you were abiding by 524, Chase would let you get any card you want. And as long as your total credit line isn't too scary to chase, you're generally going to get what you want from Chase. And even if your total credit line is above what Chase may be comfortable with, if you are a good enough customer with Chase, they will bend the rules for you. Why? Because the banks want to make money at the end of the day. Chase wants you in their ecosystem. The minute Chase does something that drives you out of their ecosystem, you're going to American Express. The minute American Express does something to drive you out of their ecosystem, you're going to Chase. The only thing that they want in terms of you leaving their ecosystem is you're a Chase customer in a United hub. You move to a Delta hub. That's the only way you're going to leave Chase. You are an American Express loyalist who's in a Delta hub. You move to a Southwest focus city. That's the only way you're leaving American Express and going to Chase. And American Express would much rather you finagle your way around to stay with American Express while you're in that Southwest focus city. Like, they will do what they can to keep you locked in. They will do what they can for you to stay loyal. They want you locked in with them. And they would prefer that you not bank with the other customer, with the other big bank. They don't really care about the smaller banks. Oh, I have a Saver card to pick up groceries because no Chase card gives me reliable grocery. Chase doesn't really care about that. But Chase does care if your secondary card is the American Express Gold card. And Chase will want to find a way to get that gold card out of your wallet. Like Amex wants to find a way to get the Sapphire Preferred out of your wallet. It's all ecosystem lock-in. Between those two right now, it is ecosystem lock-in. Chase has seen how much money Amex gets every single quarter. Amex wants to continue spiking the ball every single quarter. This is where we are. Only a third bank could set us free. And then they'll try to spike the ball every quarter.
Very well said. I don't disagree with a lot of that.
Thank you.
Yeah. I will say it like this. I think time will tell.
Yep.
But go ahead and bookmark this video, save it, whatever, so I can say, I told y'all so. When we get to a point where it's like, I have to pick one. You have to pick a side. I'm like, I saw this in the tea leaves in June of 2025.
Yeah. If you haven't already, it's been clear for a while. It is more clear today, and it will be even more clear 6 months from now. You're going to have to lock into one side or the other. The playing both is only available to those with net worths above mine, and probably well above Lonnie's, because Lonnie's net worth is well above mine.
Shut up, man.
Just stating facts.
He has all those shoes that he has to keep in the lifestyle of which they've become accustomed. He's got to take care of the shoes.
I could have spent it on drugs or strippers or hookers.
Hey, as somebody who enjoys purchasing things, such as the tobacco pipes behind me, I understand buying things that people go, huh, that's what you spend your money on. Could be heroin, not heroin. There we go.
I'll start my own rewards program.
Yeah.
Blackjack.
You know what the best part is? When people are like, you spend money on that stuff? Can I borrow $20? No, now you can't.
No, $20 I can spend on a drop later. All right. Thanks, Lonnie.